Hi everyone, so in this video I want to show you how I find apartments in Denmark. Specifically I want to show you how I use free websites. First, Boliga, which I use for its fast and filtered map-based search. It's really good for that, and it's the one I have been using the most when I was searching for apartments myself. And it also has a map that has good information on, for example, traffic noise, sunlight, and if there are water problems or not with flooding and so on in the city. Polyciden is the second one I use. It's a complement to Boliga. Basically, it's also another map-based search, which looks better and it has a nicer interface than Boliga, but at the same time it's a bit slower. But it also has what's useful in my case, graphics on how the location of the place is. Are there schools close by? Are there supermarkets close by? Is there a commute there that's long or not, depending on if you use car or cycle and so on. That's good. And then there's Boliget, which has information about the whole of the apartments in Denmark, even those that are not for sale. So, for example, if you are narrowing down your search to one or two apartments, you can see how have been the sales for all the apartments in the same building across the multiple years, how much they have been sold, how much are the estimation on the prices at the moment for different places, and more. So remember, what Denmark has is that it's very transparent across the board, so there's a ton of information you can use here. And if you have the time and you have the patience, you can get a really good deal just by knowing all this. But then let's go to Boliga. So Boliga, when you enter Boliga and then you go to the extended search, you'll get to a page like this. What I'll do is just filter out. Instead of looking for every single apartment in Copenhagen city, I'm going to look for what it says here, Copenhagen Bø, which in this case includes most of the central neighborhoods of Copenhagen, including Frederiksberg. I'm going to look for apartments that are built after 2000. In this case, because I am personally interested in places that don't have rent control, and also I'm not a very handy guy, so I don't want to spend a lot of time fixing an apartment or having some issue with the building itself. So ideally looking for new places, something that's after the second floor, specifically because I want more sunlight and I don't like people to peek into my apartments, and also because apparently, from what I understand, apartments in the ground floor take much longer to sell. Looking for under 5 million krona and a size of over 90 square meters. Also checking for an gift under 5,000 and can be a villa, ejerleilighed or rækkehus. There's a lot of different items you can search. Normally you don't need to be so strict as I am here, but for the purposes of this video, if I would be a bit broader than this, I would have just way too many options. So what's important for you might not be the same important for me. For me, it's very important the place is new. Of course, the price is important actually for everyone. Higher gift, the lower it is, the lower your monthly cost, which is good. Size and how high the apartment, it will be up to you. So when I click on search, it will look something like this. As you can see, because I'm looking specifically for newer apartments, you'll have it more in the newer neighborhoods of Copenhagen. So in the Nordhavn area, Islandsbrugge and the beginning of Ama, Sydhavn a lot. All this part of Orestad, a lot more. And of course some spread around the city. For example, this is around the Carlsberg area, something in Frederiksberg, and something a bit in the outer areas of Nørrebro. So in this case, of course you can zoom in, and it's very useful to have it on the map, because I think it's very important you choose the right place. And when you can see things on the map, it makes things much easier. In this case, I just clicked around, I selected 4 apartments I would like to see. So what is in Vesterbro? So one of the new ones there, and of course when you open the map you can see a lot of other apartments close by for sale. One in Nørrebro, one in the North Osterbro area, so close to Nordhavn, and one in Islandsbrugge. Let's take the one in Islandsbrugge for example. Here you have something that is almost 100 square meters according to the advertised price. Of course the real price, remember, it can be a bit lower. You can see it's a gift of around 4,000 square meter price. It's quite expensive, almost 50,000, but again, you're close to the city, as you can see here, very close to the center. It's, as of 2019, like a bit more than around 15 years old. It has a high floor, which is good. You can get a good level of sunshine, 3 rooms, has been on sale for a bit more than 2 weeks. So what can I see in Boliga that other websites I can't see? Before we just jump into a specific apartment. What I found useful is first to check the sunlight. You know, in Denmark in winter it can be really dark, so it's good to get a lot of light. Ideally that's something that keeps you happy, important for me. And with here you can see, depending on the time of the year, how does the sun look like, what is the angle, and you see the south looking apartments are normally the best, and ideally you have some kind of open space in front of you. So if not this one, all the ones here, for example, they have a big south opening space. That's good for sunlight, and in this map you can actually see that a lot. Noise is very important as well. At least it drives me crazy. And you can see in this map, this apartment I was looking, it's just very close to this big street. This is the Langebro area, and it can be pretty noisy, right? So perhaps for some people that's a no-go. Also, you see here, big street over here as well. So you just need to see if that's something that's very important for you. And then what Polyga has, it has potential flooding problems. So it shows you whether there's a lot of potential flooding problems or whether there's a lot of water accumulation. So maybe not in this new area, but if you go here to the beginning of November, you can have that. Again, it's just more information that's useful to know. But let's get out of this map. What else you can see in Polyga that's good? You can see how much the apartment itself has been sold in the past. So it was sold, as you see, in 2007 for almost 3 million, then it was sold for 3.5 almost, and now it's 1 million more they want to sell it for. So you can see all the history, and you can see this for every single apartment that's for sale, which is pretty cool. And then remember, this one was around 100 square meters. What are apartments in the same street? Different, for example, in this case, we are at number 29. So close by, so 29 also, but 33, how much are they selling for? 108 square meters, this one's a sale for a bit more than 5 million. How much was the change between what they were asking and how much was it sold for? Sale date and so on. You can also see how much the apartment has been for sale and how much is the normal waiting time to sell something within the area. Square meter price as well, so how much is the square meter price they're selling for comparing to the area. There's a lot of information you can see here in Polyga, which is pretty good. And again, in the same map that you see here, you can see other apartments exactly in the area, so that perhaps have something I'm not interested for. For example, this one, though it's under the price, it's around 84 square meters, sorry. I would check that, for example, as well, even though I want it a bit bigger. But let's open this one as well, because you see it has a lower IRUTKIF, which is good as well, and still has the same number of rooms. So I opened these two apartments I could just go to their real estate website. What I do when I go to a real estate website, I normally just check first how it looks, the placement of the rooms, and how the map of the apartment looks like. In this case, a bit too small or a bit too big open space here, in my opinion, but I mean, like, can be dependent on people. Small room here can be okay, and this one is the one I was just showing before. I just had opened it before. Bathroom, 2 bedrooms, 1 big living room. You can always, of course, see the photos. I think it's much more important to see the actual plan technical, as they put it here. Good balcony. I mean, the location looks fine. Some cars over there. Looks good. But remember, I mean, the photos is not as important as actually seeing how the spaces look like, because the moment you move there, you can do a lot of things to make the apartment look nicer. In this case, not bad, honestly. So let's say, these are apartments I'm interested in this area. Imagine, right? So beginning of Islandsbrug area, close to the city. There's quite a few things for sale. There's, of course, these ones I have seen in Västerbro. Not bad, same square meter price. This one in Norrebro. Energy Mark D, maybe I don't want that, because in the end of the day you can pay a lot of money with that. Okay, this one in Norrebro, should I open it as well? Higher square meter price. Let's open this one as well for reference. I move these ones here. Let's check how the map of the apartment looks like. I go over here, come on, and you see also 2 bedrooms. Again, a depot is normally not so common to see depots in rooms, but then there we go. Okay, but from what it looks here, if I want in those areas for this price, and just checking at the moment, so maybe I haven't checked deep enough, you have 2 bedrooms, 90 square meters, a bit under 5 million. All right, That's what I can see in Bolivia, and that's how I've been searching apartments a lot on my own. If I find, as I said, this area in Islandsbrück the most interesting, I would go to Polixiden, polixiden.tk in this case. Same as, I just applied the same filters beforehand as I did in Bolivia. So more than 90 square meters, after second floor, has been after 2000 built. So the same, basically the same criteria. As you see, the map looks, the interface looks a bit nicer. And when you click on areas, you have more and more of these little houses popping up. And I think this one was the same house I was looking for. Or no, not really. This one. So let's say this one is the one I was looking for. I'll just open that in, I want to actually not go in Mangler, I just want to click here and I want to see the information in Polixiden. Shows me the same information, same square meter price, same hieroglyphs I have seen, and it's basically the same apartment. What you have here as well, same public information. Again, the reason that all websites have this public information. Basically, anyone can read about any apartment, even the apartments that are not for sale, which is pretty cool. Again, a lot of perspective you can get on this. But what this website Polixiden has, which I find useful, is that when you're undecided of whether the area or the specific place the apartment is something that you'll be interested about, you have this map here, which you can see interesting points. Rise at it means how long it would take you to go from one place to the other, but let's check that first. For example, in my case, I'm a guy who bikes. I don't like to have a car, so I would go to Sukel here, and the map would ideally, yes, there it goes, populates in different colors depending on how long it would take you to go from one place to the other. So for example, if you just bike and you're there, it would take you around 10 minutes to go to what's Rathausplatz area and the early parts of Hama, including the north of Hammerfeld, the park. Under 20 minutes to go to basically all the close parts of Osterbro, Norrebro, also Frederiksberg, so it's not that bad. And also even Nordhaven and almost Hellerup within less than 30 minutes, which is pretty good. So it's good to get this information. So again, you can also do it for how much it would be to go walking. So of course it can be a lot more, but I mean, if you like to walk, you want to know how long it would take you. And in this case, it will be in 10 minutes within all the harbor baths, but of course it will take you almost an hour to get to Frederiksberg Park. Right, that's just one thing you can see here, which is actually very important depending on all the areas. But then what you can see is also add interesting points, what are things that are interesting to you. So for example, if you are about to have a kid or you have a kid, you can see add this, and you can see all the places where you have these places for kids so they can take care of your children, where schools are, so you have one here, one here, one here, one here, so it normally looks good, I guess. And where supermarkets are, again, in this case it tells you, okay, you have Superbooks over here, you have a Facta, here you have a Netto, Irma, Footex. So it's okay, it's not as dense as you have here, but it's also not bad. So in this case, perhaps if I would be the guy buying, I would be like, okay, this is an area or a place that I'm actually interested in. Again, more information you will have in this place. It would also tell you how many schools are close by, how much is the tax rate you would have because you're in the Kommune of in Copenhagen, how many people live in the Kommune. So by and large, you get a lot of information, again, of all the different places you can see. Again, we can spend a lot of time looking into specific videos on how the different apartments look like specifically, but in this case, I wanted to show you what information you can take from these websites and what matters to you. So again, the map from Polixiden and from Bolivia, you have also the sunlight, the noise. There is a more easy interface to see the different prices that have been in the past, places close by, how much they're selling, how much they have been selling for, and so on. Last but not least, there is Bolig Head, which in this case doesn't give you the same information. For example, you can have apartments for sale, but also a lot of information about apartments that have not been for sale, at least for now, but you can have information of what happened in the past. So in this case, I would just copy the address of this apartment I was looking for. So what's this street, number 29? And again, you can do this for every single apartment. So you put the street and it has all the different apartments. So in this street, number 29, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, second floor, 3, 4. So let's check, for example, this one. And it tells you, okay, and it's not the same as I have been checking, I think, no, but it tells you how much is the square meter price, how many rooms that it has, even if the apartment is not for sale, how much is the expected sales price or the value of the apartment according to their calculations, how much is the public valuation of the place, how much is the square meter price that they expect for places like this, how much you would expect in taxes and this IRU gift, different insurances and so on, how much the prices have been going for this apartment per year or according to their data, different levels of, okay, how much are the different noise level, or if you can get some flooding of water depending on the area, how does the building look like, different things again from the commune or the part of the city. So again, a lot of information that can be very useful even for apartments that are not all for sale. So in this case, I was looking for 2952. In this case, it's, wait, I closed it by mistake. I can see the same for 2923, but I can do the same for almost every single apartment in that building, which is pretty cool. 234, and then you can see again same. So you can see, for example, in this case, by just looking at this, that there's a lot of buildings, a lot of apartments in the same building that are the same size. So it means that perhaps if the owner of this apartment doesn't want to get his or her price down, maybe as there's so many similar apartments in the future, and if you're not in a rush, maybe someone else puts them for sale and you can get into it. So that has been the big overview of all the places, all the websites I use to search for apartments. Again, going to the PowerPoint, Boliga, I use it for a fast map-based search. It's very intuitive, very easy to use, and again, fast. I use it also for the traffic noise, sunlight, and water problems potential. Polexidum looks better. People might use only Polexidum for the map search as well. But it also has this really good graph on the interesting points close to the apartments, or from schools to supermarkets and so on, and also how much it would take you to walk, cycle, or also drive to different places. And Bolighead, that you can actually have information about all the apartments in the same building. So that's how I find apartments in Denmark.